Travel with me in this dystopian and intriguing universe, where theories and reality connect in an extremely incredible story. In a world consumed by chaos, the destiny of humanity was about to be sealed. The power of the Otsutsuki had surpassed all known limits, and now Jura, a being who had inherited the hatred of the very Jubi, marched upon the earth with the intention of annihilating everything that remained. Konoha was in ruins, and even the most powerful warriors no longer had strength to continue. Boruto Uzumaki, heir of the Will of Fire, fought with all his strength to protect those he loved. His body was torn apart, his breathing failing, but his eyes burned with determination. He knew that, if he did not stop him, Jura would end not only with Konoha, but with the entire shinobi world. The battle was brutal. Boruto faced Jura with every drop of chakra that still remained in his body. Rasengan's were launched, karma portals were opened. Forbidden techniques clashed in explosions that destroyed entire mountains. But in the end, the power of Jura was simply too overwhelming. In a final blow, the beast pierced him, and before the desperate eyes of the world, Boruto fell lifeless. Silence spread. It was the end of hope, but in the shadows, a man watched. A man who always transited between good and evil. A man who knew the forbidden secrets of life and death. This man was Orochimaru. With an enigmatic smile, he approached the fallen body of Boruto. His eyes shone with curiosity and ambition. For the first time, he did not seek only knowledge, but also the salvation of the world. It is not over yet, Boruto. Your destiny is beyond death. With whispered words and forbidden seals, Orochimaru activated edo-tensei, bringing Boruto back to life. But it was not only the common Boruto who returned. Orochimaru, in his dark genius, added to him something even more dangerous, the rinnegan. When Boruto opened his eyes, his pupils shone in deep purple, marked by the circles of the supreme doujutsu. His body was restored, but his soul burned in power. He was no longer only a boy fighting for the future. He was now a reborn warrior, carrying the inheritance of the gods and the curse of temporary immortality. Jura laughed when seeing him rise. You are nothing more than a walking corpse. No matter how many times you return, I will destroy you again. But Boruto did not answer. With the rinnegan in his eyes, he opened dimensional portals, absorbed colossal attacks, and retaliated with a force never seen before. His Rasengan multiplied into black spheres, fused with the gravitational power of the rinnegan, capable of tearing the sky. The battle turned into a divine spectacle. Jura released the full power of the Jubi, but Boruto, reborn, faced him as an equal. Combining karma, the rinnegan, and the fury of his will, he launched the final blow. A divine Rasengan that collapsed the energy of the Jubi and dissolved Jura into pure light. But the destiny of Boruto would not stop there. At the moment when the dust settled, two new figures appeared before him, Daemon and Eida, the invincible boy and the bearer of omnipotence. They knew that Boruto, even reborn, was the greatest threat to the dominion they had established. Daemon advanced with his absurd strength, capable of reflecting any attack, but Boruto, using the rinnegan, distorted space and trapped him in a cycle of realities, nullifying his ability. The boy for the first time felt fear. Then Boruto raised his hand and with a dry strike defeated Daemon, breaking the myth of his invincibility, and then remained Eida. Her enchanted eyes reflected the power of omnipotence, the ability to manipulate destiny and rewrite reality. For an instant, even Boruto hesitated, feeling his will dissolve, but he remembered the words of his father, of his mother, of all who believed in him. Clenching his fist, he activated the rinnegan to the maximum. The doujutsu of Eida and her omnipotence were confronted with the supreme strength of Boruto, and in a brightness that tore the firmament, he managed to break the spell. The omnipotence of Eida was undone. Reality returned to the original course. The world, for the first time in years, was free from the dominion of the gods. But then, the body of Boruto began to tremble. The marks of edo-tensei began to undo. The chakra that sustained him as a reborn disappeared slowly. He looked at his hands, feeling life fade again. Orochimaru at a distance watched in silence, knowing that this was the price of the forbidden power. Boruto fell to his knees, breathing with difficulty. His rinnegan faded and his eyes returned to the serene blue he always carried. He looked at the sky, remembering Naruto, Hinata, Himawari, and all whom he loved. A smile appeared on his lips. If I can save the world, then it does not matter what happens to me. And with these last words, the forbidden jutsu was undone. The body of Boruto turned into ashes, disappearing like dust in the wind. Silence reigned again. Jura, Daemon and Eida had fallen. The world was free. But victory cost the life of the one who had been reborn, only to save everyone. Boruto Uzumaki, the boy destined to carry the karma of the gods, departed forever. And his legend, the legend of a hero who challenged even death, would be told for generations. If you liked it, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. Until the next video, bye.